Richard Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres. So we are returning to normal, whatever that means these days. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is. From triple-digit temperatures to muggy conditions, but we're kind of sliding into the norm, I guess, Dirk.
Yeah, we're going to be feeling like summer. Here we are. We're made our way through the middle of August, heading towards the end of August, and conditions, you know, we're warming up. We had temperatures that did drop off a little bit. We had cloud cover. We had some rain, and now we're back to a sunny start here. Beautiful start this morning as we take a live look outside over Sacramento. The sun's coming up, and we're going to have plenty of sunshine as we go through the day today. And also a little shift in the winds. We've been getting a little bit of an onshore breeze. Well, that's going to change. Get a bit of a north breeze, and that's going to help to warm temperatures up, especially in places like, well, Solano County, Yolo County, and Contra Costa County. Those are the areas that'll probably see the more significant jump in temperatures. But we're going to feel it up and down the valley today. Temperatures right now, very comfortable. 61 degrees in Fairfield, 64 in Sacramento, 66 Stockton, a little bit warmer in Modesto at 68. We're in the mid 60s through the foothills, and mid to low 40s currently for Truckee and Lake Tahoe. Wind, what wind? There's no winds. We're calm conditions for much of the valley. Fairfield only a 3-mile-an-hour southwest breeze. So yes, we are going to notice that shift in the winds, and temperatures will be climbing. In fact, we're looking at daytime highs ranging in the mid to upper 90s, forecasting a high in Sacramento about 98 degrees today. Could be a little bit warmer tomorrow. We'll have more details about that forecast coming up. But right now, let's go ahead and take a look at how your morning commute is running with Brian Hickey.
And we're moving right along here on Highway 50. You can see everything moving in the green. No delays to report eastbound and or westbound as you make your way down through the construction site. Here's looking at Interstate 80 right now at Watt Avenue. Somewhere in this area, the fire department's responding to a fire. I don't see it here in the camera. Of course, we're looking off to the east. I do believe it's to the west just of this location. So watch out for the fire department. But so far, I'm not seeing any slowdowns on the speed sensors there, so it doesn't appear to be impacting the freeway at all, but they have called for CHP to come out there and assist with some traffic control. I-5 and 99 looking good coming up from Elk Grove. No delays on that stretch. As you can see there, everything in the green, and through Stockton, we are incident free on 599 and Highway 4. Here's a look at the travel times up 99 from Modesto to Manteca, 13 minutes there. Starting to build. We've added a couple minutes here on 205, now up to 31 minutes. And then westbound 580, 28 minutes down to 680 over the Altamont Pass. Here in Sacramento, Highway 50, a 10-minute ride out of Rancho Cordova. Interstate 80, Roseville to the Split, 9 minutes. And 5 and 99 still running at the speed limit, which is an 11-minute ride out of downtown. Dale?
All right, thank you. We are learning more now about a deadly crash that we first brought you about 24 hours ago. Sacramento County deputies say the man who died in this crash opened fire on the other vehicle. We have confirmed that the man and the two women involved in this, they knew each other. It began as a dispute between the man and a woman driving the other vehicle. After he shot at her vehicle, they then chased each other, ending in this crash on Alerta Road, which also injured the two women.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of viewing of video, whether the traffic cameras and other surveillance videos that may be around. And the biggest part about everything are witnesses. We're just really looking for witnesses, trying to gather what anybody may have seen at any point before, during, or after.
To complicate matters, the shooting happened in Sacramento County and ended in Placer County. Highway Patrol was also involved in the investigation of the crash. Also, a pedestrian was hit and killed last night while crossing a street in Auburn. Happened around 8:30 on Highway 49 between Palm and Elm Avenues. When officers arrived on scene, they found the man lying in the road, but despite efforts to save him, he died. Auburn police believe the driver of the vehicle didn't see the man while he was crossing. The spot where it happened is not a marked crosswalk. By the way, the driver did stay on scene and showed no signs of impairment.
Well, the issue of climate change led to debate, discussion, and questions about whether Sacramento leaders are doing enough to protect the city of trees.
Mike Sells live outside of City Hall this morning with more on the key takeaways from a discussion about the city's ongoing climate action plan. Good morning.
And good morning. And for all the discussion about what the city is doing, should be doing, or could be doing, in the end, this discussion about climate change all came down to one word, according to the mayor, and that is money. Last night, the city council heard a report, got an update on the city's climate action plan, which began back in 2019. The 300-page document got a lot of public feedback and even demands for the city to do more during the public hearing process of this debate last night. And the city says that it is making progress and addressing climate change. 3 specific highlights from last night's meeting. The city says it has started construction of over 70 blocks of separated bike lanes in the downtown area to make things more transit friendly. It has installed the first fast charging station for the city's first electric refuse truck, although they still haven't gotten that truck due to supply chain issues. And the city says it's deployed more than 186 air quality sensors for homes, schools, and businesses in partnership with the Sacramento Air Quality District. But a string of critics, activists, and residents pushed for the city to do even more. And while the mayor didn't disagree with the need for the city to do more, he said the only way to find enough money to get it done is for taxpayers to put it on the ballot to get other taxpayers to fund it.
It's not global warming anymore. It's global boiling, as they say. It's true. Oh, my God. Hurricanes in California. I mean, what? Raining in August. I mean, it's so we have great opportunities ahead, and let's go after it.
And specifically, what he meant by great opportunities ahead is that, as the mayor was saying, that there's simply just not enough money in the city's general fund to address all the things that the city could be doing to address climate change. He said the real focus for those who are pushing for more from the city is to go to the election process, get a measure on the ballot or measures on the ballot in the future, and look towards 2024 and other elections to either A, get taxpayers to approve ballot measures to raise more money via taxes to pay for these programs, or to elect candidates who are focused on addressing the issues of climate change. Live outside City Hall, Mike DeSalle, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Mike, thank you. 6:07 now. Happening today, a new outreach center is going to officially open in Calaveras County, and it's aimed at helping business owners get the help they need rebuilding from this year's storms. The new Disaster Loan Outreach Center is going to open at the San Andreas Central Library. Representatives from the Small Business Administration are going to be there 3 days a week, helping people who were affected by the severe weather that occurred between February 21st and July 10th. No appointment is necessary, and the center is open Wednesdays through Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5. Today, the painstaking search for victims of the Maui wildfires will continue, and now authorities are pleading with the relatives of those missing to come forward and provide DNA. There are still nearly 1,100 people on the list of people unaccounted for after the fire that destroyed the historic tourist town of Lahaina. There are 115 confirmed deaths, but only 100 people have come forward to provide the DNA so far, and that is actually much lower than other major disasters, and it's made it very difficult to identify remains that are found.
Our plea to encourage people to come to the Family Assistance Center is really impactful for our testing, because we don't want to end up in a situation where we've generated results from remains that have come in from the disaster, but we don't have anyone to search them.
And Hawaii officials are concerned about releasing the names of the missing. Experts pointed to the Camp Fire in Paradise in 2018. There were 1,300 people listed as missing, but when those posted saw names in a newspaper, it dropped to about a dozen.
To our commitment coverage now, a Republican National Committee will host presidential candidates for their first debate tonight in Wisconsin. 8 Republicans qualified for that debate, while frontrunner Donald Trump is skipping out. KCRA 3's Amy Liu is in Washington now with more on what tonight could reveal about the candidates who actually will take the stage.
Well, this could be each candidate's best opportunity to stand out and possibly outshine Trump and become the new GOP favorite to take on Joe Biden in the 2024 election.
I hope voters tune in and hear that story. Hear the Republican agenda for this country, see what the Republican Party has to offer, and contrast that with Joe Biden and the Democrats.
The Republican National Committee ramping up enthusiasm at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, as 8 Republican candidates will be under the spotlight in the first primary debate of the season, including former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, former Vice President Mike Pence, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, Kelly, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum.
It's these other candidates, particularly the ones who are waiting around for something to happen to Donald Trump so that they can collect his voters.
Trump's absence won't go unnoticed. Each candidate must prove why they're the better fit, appealing to both undecided voters and to Trump's strong following.
There's a risk for Donald Trump in that they could also say these are pretty qualified people. These people could take on Joe Biden. And if that's the case, Trump may regret not showing up.
Meanwhile, Trump will be offering his own counter-programming, a pre-recorded interview with host Tucker Carlson that's set to air around the same time as tonight's debate. In Washington, I'm Amy Liu, KCRA 3 News.
And our White House correspondent Kaylin Norwood will be in Milwaukee for tonight's debate. Look for her live reports here on KCRA 3.
The latest move-in day at Sac State. Parents are going to be moving college freshmen into student housing. Tiers pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, they are. But it's also going to be buzzing with a lot of activity for those young Hornets. KCRA 3's Melanie Wingo live on campus with a look at how it will go. Yeah, it's exciting and heartbreaking all at once.
A combination of so many emotions for the families who will be out here at the Alumni Center, where it's quiet right now, but later this morning, all those students and families will be greeted with a warm welcome from the university. Take a look. This is video from last year at Move-In Day. The students greeted by the cheer squad and a band. Gives you a feel for how things should go this morning. Once students get checked in, they'll be shuttled to the North Village residence halls, and that's where they'll get the chance to move in their stuff throughout the day. With first-time students moving in today, including first year, new transfer, and new graduate students. The move-in process continuing through Friday, with returning students checking in at their residence halls on Friday. And it will be a busy few days for all of these students. Along with moving in, they're invited to hear from the university's new president, Luke Wood, as Wood delivers his fall address. That's scheduled for tomorrow morning, followed by the convocation tomorrow afternoon, where the president will formally welcome incoming Sac State students with official instruction beginning next week on Monday, August 28th. Reporting live at the Sac State campus at the Alumni Center, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
Melanie, thank you. Coming up in our next half hour, why the university's housing department says students who live on campus for the first 2 years have a better chance at graduating in 4 years.